You can sing, you can dance, you can twirl, spin, and prance. What's your talent? What's your talent? What's your talent? What's your talent? Wow, friends, in a little bit, we are going to see a talent show put on by Mickey and his friends. There'll be lots of singing and dancing, maybe some juggling, and so many more things. While we listen to the story, I want you to think about your talents, and if you were with Mickey and friends, what talent would you do at the talent show? So let's get started and go to the talent show. Mickey Mouse sighed as he looked out the window. It was pouring rain outside. Sorry, gang, he said. It doesn't look like we'll be able to go for a hike today after all. Now what are we going to do? Donald asked. I have an idea, said Minnie. Let's put on a talent show. We can have it right here. And we can invite all our friends, added Mickey. Donald had a great idea for an act, but he couldn't do it alone. Hey, Pluto, want to be in my act? He asked. Pluto barked happily. Yes, yes. Great, Donald replied. He dashed to the kitchen. A few minutes later, he came carrying a large bowl of fruit. Everyone was curious about Donald's props, but he didn't want to ruin this big surprise. Come on, Pluto, he said. Let's go practice in the attic. Donald waited until they were alone to tell Pluto his big idea. We're gonna have the best act in the talent show, he exclaimed. I'm going to juggle this fruit, and then I'll throw it to you one piece at a time so you can balance it on your nose. Yeah, natties. See? Donald grabbed an apple, a peach, and a pear. Watch this, he said. Donald tossed the fruit into the air and started to juggle. Pluto was so impressed that he sat back and barked in approval. Woof! Good job. You sit just like that, Donald told Pluto. Now I'll throw the fruit over one at a time. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Just as Donald tossed the peach to Pluto, the attic door creaked open. Pluto spun around to see who was there. The peach sailed past his head and landed on the floor with a juicy splat. I just wanted to see if you'd like to invite our friends to the talent show, Daisy said, holding up a phone. Can't you see we're practicing? Donald snapped. Then he closed the door, right in Daisy's face. That wasn't nice of Donald. Donald picked up the smashed peach. Yuck, he said. I can't juggle with this. Donald plucked a plum from the fruit bowl and started juggling again. The fruits went whoosh, 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 round and through the air. And this time, when Donald tossed the plum into the air, Pluto was ready. He caught it on his natties. His nose. Great job, Donald cheered. Okay, here comes the pear. Who's there? Pluto and Donald jumped. The plum rolled off Pluto's nose, and Donald dropped the plum and the pear and the apple accidentally. And all over the floor they went splat. Ahoy there, Donald. Howdy, Pluto. Looks like you're working really hard, Mickey said. I can't wait to— What do you want? Donald grumbled. We're almost ready to go on, Mickey replied. I was wondering if you'd like any help. I wondered if you'd like to help decorate the set. We don't have time for that, Donald said. Can't you see we're practicing? Sorry to bother you, said Mickey. Donald took a deep breath and picked up another apple. It's almost time for the show, he said, and we still haven't practiced all the way through. Pluto looked worried. It's okay, Pluto, Donald continued. I'm good at juggling things, and you're good at catching things. I'm sure it will be. Just then, Minnie poked her head into the attic. Does anybody need help with their costumes? She asked. No, Donald hollered. What we need is practice and no more interruptions. I'm sorry, Minnie replied, but Mickey also asked me to give you a message. The show is about to start. Donald peeked out the attic window, and sure enough, he could see Huey, Dewey, and Louie dodging raindrops as they hurried to the house. Good luck with your last practice, Minnie said in a small voice before she slipped out the door. Donald glanced at the fruit bowl. It looked like it had been so full before, but now there were only a prickly pineapple, a watermelon, and a bunch of bananas left. There was barely enough fruit to juggle in the show, let alone to practice with. When they went downstairs, Donald and Pluto could see how hard everyone had worked to get ready for the talent show. Donald watched how they'd had time to practice with their own acts. I'm sorry, said Donald. I should have helped everybody get ready instead of yelling at you for interrupting my rehearsal. Mickey smiled and stepped in front of the audience. Welcome, friends, to the Rainy Day Talent Show, he announced. Donald watched as his friends shared their acts. First, Mickey performed an amazing magic trick. Then Minnie did a special dance, and next Daisy played a song on her harmonica. You're up, Mickey told Donald and Pluto. Break a leg. Donald and Pluto walked to the center of the stage as Pluto sat back on his haunches. Donald grabbed a bunch of bananas. But Donald had never juggled with bananas before, and bananas flew across the room, making the audience laugh. Donald's cheeks turned pink as he grabbed the pineapple and tossed it in the air. Ouch! Oof! Ugh! Donald exclaimed as he tried to juggle it. He glanced at Pluto, who shook his head and hid under his paws. And soon, only the watermelon was left. When Pluto saw Donald reach for it, he hid under the couch. The audience howled with laughter. Too embarrassed and upset to face his friends, Donald rushed off the stage. Pluto nuzzled his hands. After a few minutes, Mickey, Minnie, and Daisy joined them. What's wrong, Donald? Daisy asked. Donald stared in her amazement. What's wrong? What's wrong? He asked. Everything. My act was a disaster. It made everyone laugh and turned into a great big joke. Actually, Mickey said, you and Pluto were the stars of the show. That's right, agreed Minnie. We wanted to entertain our friends, and you did. Everyone was having a great time. In fact, I can still hear clapping right now. And Donald couldn't believe it, but Mickey was right. Everyone was clapping. You better get over there and take a bow for an encore, Mickey told him. I don't have any fruit left, Donald said. Pineapples and watermelon were not made for juggling. How about you juggle balls instead, Daisy suggested, and we'll save the fruit for a fruit salad, Minnie said, giggling. The end. Wow! Even though Donald wasn't able to use fruit for his juggling act like he wanted, he was still able to entertain and provide laughter for everyone else. What a great duck. Okay, friends. Now, what would your talents be at the talent show? Mickey did a magic trick, Donald did his juggling act, Daisy did a song on the harmonica, and Minnie did a little dance. Now, what would your act be in the talent show? Wow, I would love to see that. When we get back to school, I want to see you do that talent, okay? Great, but until then, you can share with Mommy and Daddy and sisters and brothers, okay? Okay. Well, friends, that's all the time we have for right now, but you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.